Hey guys, long time no chat. Two-part video here. The first part, I want to go over a new scalping strategy I want to share with you guys using some range bars. And the second part is the chat room slash forum slash chat room that I put together. I'm amazed how many emails I get still from people, mostly new guys, saying, I seen on your blog or I seen on the YouTube that you guys had a chat room. Where is it? Why isn't it still going? How do I get in? So I've made one up. So anyways, we'll get to that in a minute. I want to start with this new strategy. So it's a pretty simple strategy. I'm usually on the euro yen with this. I have it on the side while I'm trading oil. I just kind of keep it off to the side. I really only look at this pair. Sometimes the euro dollar as well. But it's pretty simple. It uses a 7 exponential moving average and the 2-line MACD and range charts. And these are set to 8 pips. So all this stuff, all the two indicators here, other than the MA, of course, you can get that with any MT4 platform, but the range charts and the 2-line MACD you can grab from the blog, and most of you already have that. So if you don't, you can go there and get it. Actually, it's in the forum as well, which again we'll get to. So what are we looking at? The main thing I'm looking for is the first thing is the cross of the MACD. So is the blue crossing above the red, or is the blue crossing below the red? Let's look at this example here. The blue is crossing above the red for the first time. That's got me interested. And then I want to see some price action. I want to see, because it's crossing above, I want to see green bars. And I don't want to see them side by side like this. I want to see them green, green, separating from each other, going up, going up, going up. And then I want to see a pullback. Okay? And then the pullback, I want to see if there's a close below the 7. Okay, so in this case it did, but I'll just check with the pardon me, the data window, and 74 and 73. Yep, so it closed below. So perfect. That's what we want to see. At the same time that this closes below, the blue stayed above the red. That's very important. If the blue crossed back over the red, then this trade's negated and we continue on looking for a fresh new setup. Okay, now I'm just going to go over the long example. You can obviously figure out how the inverse would affect the short trade. So that matches up. We've got a close below, this stays above. Great. Now we want to look for an entry. So we have the pullback, not just to the 7, but an actual close below the 7. And then we want to see it close back above the 7. And in this case, it happened to be the very next bar, which is great, although it doesn't look like it. But if we look at the data window, we see the MA is 74, and the close of that bar is 75. So it did. It closed by 1 pip. So that means we can get long on this bar here at the open of this bar. So we can get long right there. Okay. Now, it's a scalping strategy. This had a run of jeepers 40, almost 50 pips, little pullback here, but I'm not looking for that. It's a scalping strategy. I'm looking for 10, 8, 10 ticks kind of thing, and I'm looking for a stop loss of about the same. So in this case, I'm looking to protect down below that swing low, and that's my stop. And I'd be looking to get out somewhere up here. Okay, if we get in at 76, I'm looking to get out at 86 and protect down to 66. Okay, give or take, add a bit of spread, take some spread off. But you get the idea. And not all the time. I'm not expecting this big run. It happens, sure, but I'm not going to sweat, leaving that kind of money on the table, because that's not the trade I'm looking for. And that doesn't happen all the time. Now, one thing I have noticed is you've got a higher percentage when this happens, when this setup happens shortly after that first cross. Okay, and I'll show you what I mean, because we have another trade up here. Okay, so just we're going up, we get our first close below, right? It closes back below, all above, all the closes are above the 7 here, above. We get one below, we go down to the MACD, it's still above, the blue is still above the red. We get a close back above, which means we can then go long, pardon me, on this candle here. Move that over so you can see. So we could go long here. And again, same thing, looking to protect below there, 10, 11, and we're looking for 10, 11, which we would have got. Okay. So I prefer these ones that happen right after. Like right after that first cross. That's kind of, I've been finding that's kind of more of the sweet spot, a more high probability trade. So you might find, depending on which pair you're looking at, that might be a little different, but keep an eye out for that, and at least make a note of it as you go along and test it. So that's it. That's basically the strategy. It's pretty simple. And I'm looking at the euro yen. Holy cow. Okay, so here's I also have the euro dollar up beside it, and this is like the picture perfect trade, because the price action is obvious, right? All this red, nothing but green, and then all red down. So let's go through this trade again. We get a cross here of the blue to the downside. Now we're looking for this pullback and a close above. Well, it closed above here, right? Does it? Let's see. The MA is 65 and the close is 66. So yes, we get a close above here. It goes up still. We still haven't broken. The blue still hasn't crossed. So we're still able to look for a short. Now does this one close below? It doesn't. It closes right on. Look at that. 66. Both the close and the MA are at 66. So we can't get in here. But this one does close below. Obviously. It's pretty obvious. 62 and 65. So we can get in on this one. Come on. There. So we can get in there. And take that short. To where here's our, we get our 10 ticks, we protect back up above here. Right, and there's 10, give it 12, so take 12, and we could have gotten our 12 easy. Wow. But that's a picture perfect. I didn't see that. I was setting up for the euro yen because that's what I usually trade, or usually look at, more so than the euro dollar. But this euro dollar one is just a perfect trade. Like, there's that price action we're looking for. Pulls back, close above, close below, continue on, and this never breaks, this never crosses back over. That's a perfect setup. Perfect, very cool. Okay, so that's the strategy. You can set it up pretty easy. You have all the indicators and stuff, so you can go ahead and give that a whirl. Now I'm going to hit pause here, and I'm going to show you the chat and the forum thing that I set up, so just give me a second here. Okay. So this is the forum, and I put a chat box in here. So there's the URL. If you go to the blog, there'll be a link to get to the forum as well. I didn't make it the index because I might later on, but for now, that's the URL, aguywhotrades.com/forum, and you'll get to the forum. Pretty simple. You're not going to have this moderate stuff. That's because I'm the moderator, but the main thing I want to show you here is the chat box. So when you first arrive, it's probably going to be collapsed like it is now. Okay, so you're going to have to go over and click on this plus sign, and that opens it up. Okay, and then chat. Pretty simple. Also, kind of a cool feature is you won't have that moderation panel, but you can open pop-up, and what that does is it pops up a separate window that you can drag. It separates itself from the actual forum, and you can put that wherever you like. It's kind of a handy thing. Make it as big or small as you like. Also, just a note, with these, bold, italic, underline, obviously the smileys, and the font size and color. And then this, every time a new message comes into the chat box, it makes a bing or a peep or a squeak or whatever the noise is. You can mute that. And you see how the light, the colored, all these boxes are colored light. When they're dark, that's when they're in function. So there's bold. It's light now. And then I've got it on mute, so I don't hear that ping every time. It's kind of annoying, I find anyways. So that's the chat function. And the standard rules apply. Don't be a dumbass when you're in the chat. Don't spam. Try and get along. I know the last time it worked great because the guys we had in there were fantastic, and there was never any pissing or moaning. Everybody got along really well, so I'm expecting the same. So just a quick look at the forum. The usual stuff, introductions, where you're from, what do you trade. You can put something in there, you don't have to, it's up to you. I expect this to be the most used section. Guys are exchanging ideas, chatting about their different stuff they're doing, whether it's Forex or futures. I put a spot for commercial trading systems as well. No spam. I shouldn't have to say this, but I will. It's not for guys to try and sell something. I'm not going to be selling anything. It's just, hey, I bought this. It worked. This is how it worked. This is why it worked. Here's some proof that it worked. That kind of stuff. Okay, and hopefully it doesn't turn into bashing either. I bought this EA and it sucked. But we don't need that. Just don't post. Trade calls if you want to share Forex, futures, stocks, options, baseball cards, whatever. Put whatever you like in there. Just let us know if it's live or demo. And then indicators. I've got, I think I've got just the ones I've been sharing in there. So I've got the range charts, I got the 2-line MACD, and then I got the stop loss. Yeah, the line adjuster that everybody seems to want. So that's in there as well. So don't put stuff, don't go to, we all know the other forums, and we don't want to post cracked indicators or cracked systems or cracked EAs. We all know where they are. We don't want them here. And if you post it, I'll just delete it. And if you keep posting it, I'll ban you. Because that's not what we're doing. That's not what it's here for. There's a million other forums that you can get free stuff on. Or free commercial stuff, I should say. So, and we all know we all know where they are, so you can go there. And then the final one, just EA stuff. I guess guys still want to talk about EAs. In case you do, maybe talk about some programming things, what have you. You can do it in there. So that's it. It's pretty simple. You can tell it's the very basic forum. My programming skills are 0, so you can tell, but it's useful. I still, the chat is still there. The chat function, I think, is still useful. A lot of guys still want that. I'm amazed how many guys email me about wanting the chat. Where's the chat? When is the chat coming back? It says you have a chat. I can't find it. So there you go. It's alive and well. So enjoy that, guys, and look forward to seeing you in the forum and in the chat. We'll talk to you soon.